Hi, I'm Kylie Jane. Today I'm going to step you through how to create a gorgeous palm tree painting. I absolutely love palm trees ever since I moved to Brisbane. I actually came from a really cold climate in Melbourne, and when I first moved to Brisbane, all I could see was the palm trees surrounding me. I still to this day, as I'm driving along, look at the palm trees and just look at the leaves and how they're formed, and that really helps me when I'm painting, and it's just become something I really like to paint. So today I'm going to be using mostly acrylic pouring paints. Some of the colours we'll be using are light aquamarine, peach, burnt sienna, coral and some white. I'm also going to mix in some of the acrylics in the green tones. I'm also using paper from the cotton watercolour block, but feel free to use just whatever you have. To get started, I'm just using an expressionist brush, so it's quite a thick little brush. We're going to start at the top of the page and work our way down, just blending the peach and the orange together to create the background. I'm just adding in a little bit of white and a tiny touch of pink in the background as well, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Once I've finished the sunset, I'm just going to paint a little hill on the right-hand side using a deeper orange. So just mix some of the deeper burnt sienna pouring colour in, and it will just give it a bit of depth to the background. And then I'm just mixing a little bit of a mauve colour on the left-hand side to create the other hill. That's really going to give it a depth from the background as well. So I've got three different sort of colours happening. I'm now just mixing in a little bit more colour to achieve more contrast in this hill. It just needs to pop a little bit more. So I've just added a little bit of a darker orange to blend over the top of this hill. So step by step, I'm blending in the hills in the foreground just to give it that contrast against the background. Add some more white to the mauve and just keep painting downwards and across. If the paint feels like it's too thick, just add a little bit of water to blend it in. It's really nice to add water if it feels too thick. It just helps to blend it in a little bit better. Now I'm going to go in with the light orange again and just to create the other curve. Add some more white and then blend across the page and down. Once our background and our foreground is complete, it's then time to paint the palm trees over the top. So you might want to give it a little bit of drying time, and then we'll paint the palm trees straight over the top. With a thick paintbrush, I've just created a sort of deep brown colour to create the base of the palm tree. It's just a straight line from the bottom of the hill up, and then we're going to create another line on the left-hand side. Not all the way to the top, just leave a good 8 centimetre gap for the top of the palm tree. Once these bases of the palm trees are finished, we're then going to add in a nice beautiful minty green colour to bring it to life. Using a pointy end paintbrush, we're going to do some little leaves from the top of the base, and we're going to fray them out to the right. So probably 3 little frays out to the right, and then 3 little frays out to the left. And then just the top of the palm tree, maybe 2 little stalks up to the top. Once we've created this, then we can fray each individual leaf out using the paintbrush just to do little sweeping actions on each of the palm leaves. Once we've done this sweeping action on both of the palm trees, we can then go over the top of these leaves to give it a bit more contrast using a lighter green. This will just make the palm tree leaves pop. If you make a mistake, don't worry, it happens to all of us. As you can see, I've dropped a small amount of paint here, so I'm just gonna gently wipe this off and then cover this area up with a little bit of green grass, and that way nobody will know that I've made this tiny mistake. So you can always go back with acrylic paints. That's a brilliant thing about them. You can go over the top and cover up any little minor mistakes. Using that same technique as I was using with the fanning of the palm tree leaves, I'm just going to create these little bushes. I think we just need to place a few of these bushes around the foreground just to give it a little bit more interest. Next, I'm just going to add a little bit of metallic to the hills. Just gives it a little bit of interest as well, gives it a bit of a shimmer. Next, I'm just going to create the little coconuts underneath the leaves of the palm trees now. So this will just give it a little bit more depth again. And here I'm just using some of that brown and mixing in a tiny bit of white to create the palm trees. And then down the stalk of the palm tree, just adding some little lines just to give it that definition in the trunk. Now I'm just going to add some more details to the foreground. This is really up to you to sort of add your own expression into the artwork. I'm just going to add a few dots and put some more little features like leaves at the front of the foreground. Feel free just to finish off the artwork by adding some white to the background where the hills are, just to accentuate the hills and make them stand out even more. And that's about it. You're done now. I really hope that you've enjoyed watching me create today, and I hope this inspires you to create your own abstract landscape. I can't wait to see what you come up with, so please make sure you snap a photo, hashtag MontMartArt, or tag us on Instagram or Facebook at MontMartArt. Thanks so much for joining me today.